His hand tightened around the coffee cup. Not like he was just holding a cup, like he was trying to stop something inside from breaking. His fingers had gone pale. On his third finger, there was a wedding ring. The coffee inside had gone cold. No steam. Nothing had broken yet. But in that silence, something was about to. A small kitchen in Hyderabad. A December morning. Soft grey light was coming in through the window. There were two people in that kitchen. Two people who once used to look at each other. Not anymore. Rajesh stood near the counter. Lakshmi was near the stove, making tiffin. There were no words between them, but there were many things left unsaid. Outside, a child was practicing the violin. The same wrong note every time. But inside this house, they had stopped hearing that sound a long time ago. He placed the cup on the counter. He did not throw it. He placed it very carefully. But sometimes, the things we place most carefully are the ones that break. The saucer cracked. A thin line appeared across the white ceramic. In that house, it was not a small sound. They both heard it, but neither of them moved. Then Lakshmi turned off the gas. She picked up her tiffin, her bag, and her dupatta and walked out without looking at him. She did not even close the door. Rajesh was left alone in the kitchen. The broken saucer was still beside him. He drank the cold coffee. The bitterness was not in the coffee. It was in the silence of that kitchen. Outside, the violin still had not stopped. Tuesday morning, 6:30. The geyser stopped working. Cold water touched his hand. But the cold did not touch only his hand. It touched the anger he had been holding inside. He turned around and shouted at Lakshmi. Not at the geyser, at her. She stayed near the stove. She did not even turn around, because this was not the first time. 8:15. Rajesh had left for office. The kitchen became silent again. Lakshmi made coffee for herself. Slowly, carefully, she looked at the empty chair, the same place where he had been sitting and shouting a few minutes earlier. She walked to the cabinet. She took out his white coffee mug. In red letters, it said, "World's Best Husband." A gift once given as a joke. Back then, he had laughed. Lakshmi did not break it. She did not throw it away. She climbed onto a small stool and placed the mug on the highest shelf. Out of reach, out of sight. She was not leaving Rajesh. She was not fighting him either. She was simply making one small decision. From now on, she would no longer respond to his anger. Wednesday night dinner. Lakshmi was in the middle of a sentence. She was talking about a child at her school, a child who was being bullied. There was hesitation in her voice. Not just that day, for years. Halfway through the sentence, Rajesh stopped her. He said his day had already been bad and asked why she brought other people's problems home. Lakshmi stopped speaking. She lowered her eyes and continued eating. The dal was too salty. Neither of them said anything, because in that house, the real salt was not in the dal. It was in their life. Friday morning. Rajesh's office in high-tech city. In front of a client from Mumbai, Rajesh was a completely different man. Relaxed. Charming. Like anger did not exist in him. He smiled at the client. Walked him to the lift. The lift doors closed. Before they had fully closed, his smile disappeared. He walked back to his cabin, took off his suit jacket and placed it on the chair. His face suddenly looked tired. The charming man from a few seconds ago was gone. This was Rajesh, unable to be comfortable even with himself. He looked at his palm, the same hand that gripped a cup at home, the same hand that gave a warm handshake at work. One hand, two different Rajeshes. He was alone in the apartment elevator. 6th floor. He saw his reflection in the steel doors. He said her name, softly. Just her name. Like he suddenly remembered she was still in his life. But their marriage had been continuing without him. Saturday afternoon. Gachibowli. The deal did not go through. The client had been difficult. For 2 hours, no matter how angry he felt inside, he did not show it. Then he sat in his car. He did not start the engine. Rajesh was an expert at hiding things inside. But hidden things do not disappear. They only wait for the right moment. He drove slowly. Near the high-tech city flyover, the signal turned red. In the rearview mirror, he saw the car behind him, a husband, a wife. The man was shouting at her. The woman sat silently, looking straight ahead. Her hands were resting in her lap. Rajesh could not hear their voices. The windows were closed. But some things do not need sound to be understood. He looked at the man. His first thought was, what an angry man. Then he looked at the woman. In that woman's face, he saw Lakshmi. Not her face, the way she silently endured. The same hands, the same silence. A woman who had learned to hold herself together in difficult moments. That calmness was not natural. It had been learned the hard way. Something moved inside Rajesh. Something that had never happened before. Heat was rising in his chest. The same heat that came before anger. As the man in the car behind him kept shouting, the heat grew stronger. But at the same time, for the first time in his life, something cool appeared in the middle of his chest. Two feelings in one body. One, the old anger. The other, a new silence watching that anger. He had no words for it, but his body understood. The signal turned green, but Rajesh did not move. The man in the car behind him started honking angrily. He shouted. He gestured with his hands. The woman beside him did not even turn her head. That car passed Rajesh and drove away. Rajesh did not look at him because this time his attention was not on the anger outside. It was on the anger beginning inside him. For the first time, he was not becoming the storm. He was watching the storm inside him. Rajesh pulled the car to the side of the road, turned on the emergency lights, switched off the engine. Outside, the world kept moving. Auto horns, a vendor calling in the distance, a dog barking somewhere. But inside the car, there was silence. His hand was in the middle of his chest, the same place where anger became heat. Now that heat was slowly fading. He did not cry. He did not blame himself. He simply sat there, trying to understand what had happened inside him. Sometimes, change begins like this, not with big words, but when a man sees his anger from the outside for the first time. Anger came, stayed for a while, then it passed. It happened inside him, but it was not him. In that silence, one thought came. Lakshmi had been seeing this version of Rajesh for 22 years. He drove home slowly. Hyderabad evening was sinking into darkness. At a turn, an auto passed his car. The old anger started again in his chest. He wanted to honk. He wanted to shout. But this time, he did not react immediately. His hand paused on the steering wheel. He noticed his anger. He watched how it began. He watched how quickly his mind started making a story. But this time, he did not fall into that story. After a while, the anger faded. He drove again in silence, toward home, and also inward. He reached his apartment building, 6th floor. He stood outside his own door for 1 full minute. A neighbor passing by looked at him, but did not ask anything. From inside the door, he could hear Lakshmi's pen moving across paper. She was checking papers. In 22 years, he had crossed this door so many times. But this was the first time he stopped before going in. To truly notice her, he went inside, took off his shoes, walked to the dining table. Lakshmi was sitting there, checking papers. She looked up once, said nothing, and returned to her work. Rajesh did not sit immediately. He stood there, watching her for a moment. The movement of her hand, the tiredness on her face. For the first time, he noticed it, the small line between her eyebrows, the one that appeared when she concentrated. It was not new. It had probably been there for years, but he had never seen it. People change slowly right in front of us. We are the ones who stop noticing. Rajesh sat across from her. There was silence between them on the table. Her pen was still moving on the paper. Rajesh kept looking at the table. He did not have the courage to look into her eyes. Finally, he said her name. Lakshmi. She looked up. She did not speak. Now it was his turn to say something, but the words did not come immediately, because a real apology does not reach the mouth the moment it begins in the heart. Finally, he started speaking. Not big words, only as much truth as he had. He said that for a long time he had been taking his anger out on her. Lakshmi did not move. Then came the hardest thing to say. When he got angry, he could not even recognize himself. He stopped there. That was all he could say in that moment. Lakshmi slowly placed her pen down. Being silent does not mean nothing was heard. She heard every word. His eyes moved toward the cabinet. Behind the glass, he saw the broken saucer. As if it had been hidden, Rajesh stood up, picked up the saucer, brought it to the table, and placed it between them. He told her he was the one who had broken it, and that he had never admitted it. Lakshmi looked at the saucer. Her face did not change. She already knew. She had known for a long time. But this time, something was different. For the first time, Rajesh admitted what he had broken. Sometimes healing begins right there, when we stop hiding the broken thing. Lakshmi reached across the table. She did not touch his hand. She picked up the saucer, turned it slowly. Then she placed the saucer back on the table. This time, a little closer to him. Her chair also moved half an inch toward Rajesh. After 22 years of distance, that half inch was a big step. Lakshmi went back to checking papers. But something on that table had changed. 3 weeks later, a Wednesday morning, the same kitchen, the same blue tiles, the same soft morning light. Lakshmi was near the stove, making tiffin. Rajesh stood near the counter. In front of him was the same coffee cup. The coffee had gone cold again. The broken saucer was beside him. This time, it was visible. It was no longer hidden. Outside, the violin began again. The same child, the same wrong note, still not corrected. Rajesh's hand moved toward the coffee cup. The old anger began again in his chest. His body tightened, ready to react, like always. But this time, Rajesh stopped. He noticed his anger. He noticed the urge to shout. He noticed his mind trying to blame Lakshmi. The kitchen, the morning, everything around him. He saw the habit of throwing anger onto everything. The anger rose. For a moment, it became strong. Then slowly, it faded. This time, nothing broke. Rajesh put the cup down, then picked it up again. He walked to the stove and warmed his own coffee. As the coffee warmed, Lakshmi finished making tiffin. She picked up the breakfast plate, placed it on the table. This time, in front of him. For 22 years, she had placed the plate in front of herself, because Rajesh never noticed. Today, she placed it in front of Rajesh, because now, maybe he could notice. Rajesh sat at the table with warm coffee. From outside, the violin sounded again. The same wrong note, the same stubborn child. This time, Rajesh heard it, not just as sound, but like someone trying for 2 years to correct the same note. For the first time, he truly heard it. A small smile came to his face. Rajesh said, "That child still has not corrected the note." Lakshmi looked up. Their eyes met. For the first time in 3 weeks. Maybe for longer than that. Lakshmi said, "That child has been practicing for 2 years." And then she said, "Until now, you never heard it." Rajesh looked at his warm coffee. Then at the broken saucer beside the cup. There was something inside it. A small white jasmine flower. Just one flower. Fresh. He understood. When he had turned to warm his coffee, Lakshmi had placed it there. This was not the first time. Every Wednesday morning, for 3 weeks, she had been placing one flower there. Without words, without big apologies, she was slowly inviting him back into that home. In the only language a 22-year marriage knows. Rajesh looked at the jasmine flower. A small smile came to his face. Very quietly, inside himself. Anger came. Anger passed. But this time, the anger was not what changed. What changed was Rajesh who saw it. You are not your anger. You are the person who can notice that anger.